welcome back. We are here for Apocalypse Keys, Bonds of Power, Episode 9. So, a few things happened last time, so I wouldn't mind a sentence or two of previously on regarding your character before we get into the new mystery. So, whomever remembers first. And I already mentioned it, but for the recording, remember to pick an impulse.
So last session, Vivi discovered their book was missing, had some feelings about it, got into a fight, not a fight, they got into a discussion with Petri, where Petri was being very reasonable about, things being mutable, and Vivi was unhappy with this, then went over and talked to Wisp and poured out their heart again, sort of, um, and was sad afterwards, and then went and hung out with Zero on the roof, where they encouraged Zero to just hit the bricks. If Zero doesn't like it here, just leave.
Zero during last session discovered teenage angst, pretty much. Had a chat. He had a chat with Wisp, who taught him a little bit about how to fight. And he also gave Wisp a gauntlet of darkness. As you do for your friends.
Really the universal gift.
Yeah. And he had a small chat with Petri. It didn't go well for Petri. And then he had a chat with Cobb, who revealed that he knew more about Zero before the tank than he has previously let on, which upset Zero a teensy little bit, and he stormed off and then talked with Vivi on the roof.
Wisp reunited with the team after having been sent home early from the Manila mission. She's been sort of voluntold to forge a psychic link with one of Division's team of psychic invokers. I don't think she's really told her fellow teammates about that yet. She had the aforementioned chats with Zero in the training room, and she was sort of alarmed by how matter-of-fact he was about killing people as part of resolving the whole situation with the Madelancholy. And she also had a sort of difficult chat with Vivi that again touched on their past and kind of Wisp's outburst in Manila.
And Petri?
Petri had a long, sort of circuitous conversation about the nature of truth with Vivi, and then proceeded to ask if Zero was okay and completely blow it for everybody. Oh, and then there was a fun moment with Lydia where she implied that not only was Petri like plural in that there are multiple individuals within Petri, but also that she may have known Peter beforehand.
That is quite true.
Just normal monster things.
Just normal monster things. It's all good. It's all
if
good.
half the group does it, it's normal.
I feel like I didn't hit on the high point of the chat with Petri that Chris just alluded to, where Petri told Zero that no one thinks of him pretty much at all.
Oh, that's so God. It's
getting the robot Zero.
Oh my gosh. We will find out how this goes. As we do. Oh my gosh. All right. So, I think as everyone is finishing up, or maybe not finishing up, conversations and hanging out with each other, I think that you all get called in for the debriefing. Strangely enough, no mention is made of the incidents in Manila. It was enough that it was taken care of. However, it was taken care of. But there is a bit of a side eye when I believe it's Maggie, the one supervisor, will present the case to the newest case to you all, and just go into it. Yep. Omen-class monsters. Assist Mysterious in searching for a missing Halimaw-class monster and their teen pilot. Immediately rendezvous with Commander Fletcher Payne, former Halimaw pilot and commander of the outpost on Island 0. Investigate the facility and island. Warning: engage with Rift-class monsters only if necessary. Harbinger-class monster has left evidence of possession of Halimaw and pilot. Find the door of power and contain it before the Harbinger claims ascension. And as I mentioned offline, there is a content warning for this particular mystery. Teenagers facing trauma, harm, possibly fatal, experimentation as well as experimentation on the teenagers, and genocide via bioweapon, biological warfare. So that's mentioned in this particular mystery. So any viewers have any issues, just know that that stuff may be coming. Alrighty. So you all are handed the files for this particular segment before you are whisked off onto the hovercraft. And certain things are mentioned in terms of what this is about. So, on September 13th, 2000, the unthinkable happened. Scientists and engineers experimented on an ancient monster slumbering in the heart of an inactive volcano deep underwater. Awakened from its millennia-long sleep, the monster screamed and tore through reality with its power. In the wake of its anger, a permanent wound bleeds between worlds. So this interdimensional scar is opening into a nightmare realm. There are colossal rift monsters coming through, each capable of destroying entire cities within hours. These monsters can only be stopped by other monsters like them. If even one gets through, it would mean the start of the apocalypse. So, Island 0, where you will be going, is not on any maps, and it never will be. It's an island filled with larger-than-life monsters, and the teenagers who are psychically linked with them. And the monsters and teens must use highly experimental technology to guard the boundaries of our world and push back all threats. So they're part of a war that will never end. Together they are pilots, and the creatures are called Halimaw. Once a teen is connected to a Halimaw, they're forever changed. When the teens become adults, they change in unpredictable ways. All lose their ability to connect with their Halimaw, thus unable to pilot. Some, at that point, will show signs of mutation, new abilities, or physical features that can't be explained by science. Very few even become rift monsters themselves, eventually growing colossal in size, losing most of their memories and the ability to speak. So, of course, what this means is, every few years, there are new recruits, new youths who must take on this burden. So, there's no physical indicators of the teen's ability to be a pilot, nothing within their DNA, nothing in their social background that determines their capabilities. Mysterious, the mechanized youth squad of tactical eschatological research, investigation, and operations, a branch of United Security, nicknamed Mysterious. They employ skilled psionics to walk through dreams and find teens that can emotionally connect to the Halimaw. I think that when you read that part of the file, Zero, I think that kind of gives you a throb of recognition, but you don't know why. Division itself has close ties with Mysterious. One of the pilots and their Halimaw have gone missing, and signs of the apocalypse have been found, and so Mysterious has turned to Division for help. You all have the chance to make preparations. For this particular mission, it has been decided that both War and Peace as well as Lydia Danvers will go with you all. Are there any special arrangements that you need to make? Talking with each other before you leave? Again, Island Zero is not on any map. It will take some few days to get there. And there's checkpoints and strict clearance before you can even land. And the island is protected by void shields. So once you're in until there's the communication to be able to let you out. The void shields are what prevents people from knowing or finding the island. Anything you would like to do amongst each other or around Division before you leave?
Whatever is happening pre-mission, Zero is going to be doing his best to dodge Cobb. And he's not interested in talking to anyone else.
Okay.
I don't have anything in particular I want to do, but doesn't Vivi have a start of session?
I do, but I don't. We didn't really do a lot of time since last time, so I don't have a different dream just yet. I didn't prepare one.
Oop, I was just checking.
Thank you.
Okay, I mean, Petri will do his standard pre-mission ritual of asking Lydia if they will ever see each other again.
And she kind of gives you this look, as she always does, of, I'm actually going on the mission this time. They tell me I'm supposed to keep you out of trouble. I don't... Maybe there was a memory wipe because I don't think they remember like how impossible that is.
I'll try my best.
I know you will. She seems a little bit more... If it could be said tender, then that's what she is. When she gives you a slight look and then turns away to get her tactical gear ready. I mean, she's got her, not the suit, but it's a kind of like a kind of mesh / cloth fabric, probably like at least like somewhat slash resistant, bullet resistant, that sort of thing. And she's got a pack that she's carrying with her, as well as weapons of a sort. War and Peace is probably like off to the other side of this place as well, like gathering his own gear with his duffel bag and pack and weapons. I think he'll actually stop off and try to see you where you are, Wisp. Are you patiently waiting at your house trying to get some last minute meditation in, or are you just like, there impatiently waiting for everybody to get on the boat?
Yeah, I think she's already there ready to board.
Gotcha.
She doesn't do a lot of planning. There's not a lot of foresight going on with Wisp.
Right. I mean, basically, Warren is going to, Agent Peace, I should say, is going to slide his duffels, forward to get loaded onto the boat, and he's going to hitch his weaponry onto his suit, and then he's just going to look at you and say, "Now, those kids, I believe, are the ones that are protecting us, or at least protecting the rift from releasing these monsters. You don't have to engage any of them if you don't need to."
I've been fighting long enough to know when to engage and when to wait. And I think the usual sort of warmth or like kind of playful camaraderie that Wisp would have with Agent Peace is totally absent. She's like not even looking at him. And she'll say, "Why are they sending you on this mission? I thought they put the babysitter in my head."
Well, I mean, he's good for negotiations, I guess. But just in case they want some kind of division presence there. And usually Lydia and I work well together as a team when we're given a chance. I mean, Agent Danvers. And he just kind of like amends himself.
Okay. Well, you stay with your team. I'll stay with mine.
I'm still supposed to look out for you, though. I have your back.
And where were you when they sent me home from Manila?
Strangely enough, they didn't think that I would be able to handle you with your convincing words. I'm a fighter. And maybe I don't know when it's time to step up when it comes to being diplomatic, bureaucratic. Give me a gun. Give me a dagger, whatever. I mean, I'll go in there and do what I have to do, but when they saw you not go in and take on whatever harbinger was there, but they saw you inciting the people, they didn't think that I was the weapon that they needed, or the guard that would work. Maybe that's why I haven't been promoted. It's just, I don't know how to talk pretty.
It sounds like you're very good at pretty empty words to me. And Wisp will sort of walk off. And I'll take 2 darkness tokens for feeling unloved or abandoned.
So sorry.
Stone cold. God damn.
Damn. Okay. And Vivi?
Only just on the complete other end of the spectrum there, Vivi has gone down to the cafeteria to ensure that the drink experiments for Agent Ehrlich will be delivered in their absence. The next one up is an entire English breakfast plus coffee in a mug. It's already prepared to be delivered tomorrow, so presumably it'll be cold. There's a little post-it note taped to it that says, "Take detailed notes about the taste."
I think Melody will have gotten the order from you and has her own suggestions and such. And she just kind of looks up at you and says, "You do know that Agent Ehrlich doesn't eat this much, yeah? You do know that, right?"
Well, no. I've never seen Agent Ehrlich eat at all, actually.
Well, she'll usually get some breakfast with... And she stops and doesn't say anything. And she just kind of like gives you this look of like kind of like... And then looks askance and then looks back at you and just kind of blinks a lot. Yeah, she just kind of shares breakfast with... Yeah.
This is important scientific data. With whom?
She's the agent that she's sweet on. Yeah. Oh wait, did I tell you that or did I tell Zero? Shoot.
Vivi just makes a little face. Oh. Well.
Are you sweet on her?
No.
Are you?
I appreciate Agent Ehrlich in many ways. I am not sweet on anyone.
Oh, okay. Oh.
I am. Yes.
This is a lot of trouble for an agent. Just saying.
It's polite. You bring things to people that you like, or so I was told. And like friends give each other gifts. That's not limited to that. Humans do that too.
Yes, that's true. But usually we give gifts to people that we really, really appreciate, like for their birthdays, or to our friends, for their birthdays, or housewarming gifts, something. I mean, but this is a regular thing. This is like...
Well, yes. There was a television program, and there was someone who brought their boss coffee in the mornings, and I saw that.
Coffee.
Well, yes, but coffee's so inefficient. There has to be better things than hot bean juice.
Okay. All right. Just so you know, it comes across as if you really, really like Agent Ehrlich.
Oh.
That's probably not what it is. I'm just saying. That's kind of a little bit what it looks like. I mean, do you give gifts like this to your colleagues, your other omens?
Well, no, but
why not?
They are my colleagues, not my
they're not your friends
within the organization. I don't even know if some of them eat.
Oh, that's
Do they
true.
eat?
Well,
I don't
like
eat.
Zero comes in here and kind of crumbles up like some Danish every once in a while. I mean, I think he does.
Excellent. I will take 5 Danishes.
That's wonderful. Thank you. And then she'll hand you the assortment pack or whatever, wrapped up in a bowl that they normally sell in the cafeteria. It's the cheese Danish, good. The strawberry, and then there's stuff.
Vivi says, "I deeply appreciate your insight into the human condition. Thank you for helping me navigate it."
Sure. I mean, anytime, really. I mean, but again, this is really wonderful what you're doing for Agent Earl. Like, I think she appreciates it. It's just saying it. It's a little weird. I mean, like, you know, like, I don't give my boss this many gifts because then he'd get the wrong impression of like what I'm doing. You know, just saying.
Well, yes, but I don't think Agent Ehrlich is in danger of misinterpreting a human mating ritual from
Wait,
me.
you just said you. Okay, all right, never mind. You got a mission. You got to concentrate. I hope everybody enjoys the Danish.
Yes, I hope so as well.
Okay.
And Vivi just awkwardly takes it and like holds it like very delicately, the box like very delicately in front of them, like unsure like how fragile they are, and walks out very smoothly.
And she'll just wave. Bye.
Too many drinks. I don't know what I'm going to do with all of that clam chowder now.
Oh my god. So, yeah. It's gonna take several days. I don't know how you guys feel about the Danish. But if none of you take it, then like Agent Danvers and Peace are gonna look at it a little bit weirdly at first. But if nobody takes it, then like they and probably the pilot will have some of the Danish during the trip, and yeah.
Zero
So-
will ask why, but then take the Danish.
I brought you carbohydrates. I'm told this is a thing to do for your colleagues.
Petri
Okay.
will sort of zoop his into his hand.
You mean like
Like, yeah, like a snail,
okay?
you know?
Got it. Pseudopod that stuff up. Okay.
I think Wisp will take one. But I think she forgets to eat it. She's looking at whatever Petri is doing through his hand with utter fascination.
Did you keep the gauntlet on you, or did you put it away?
I think she still has it, but if I'm understanding it correctly, it turns into like a kind of gloopy, sort of weird substance that isn't necessarily obvious all the time, right? Or no?
I think it is still a gauntlet, but the claws will retract as necessary. But importantly, only other monsters can see it.
Oh, that's an important question. Can our
Any monster or
handlers see
creature of
it?
darkness can see it.
Oh, interesting.
Interesting.
We've established our handlers are sort of gently supernatural. Can they see it? Would they even remark upon what I think you described as like mostly jewelry? If the claws are retracted?
I mean, like, you know, Peace may not even really think about it because I mean, like, it could look like a shadow on the hand or something like that, or like, you know, if it does shine or twinkle like some kind of extra jewelry or something like that, maybe it's something that's only apparent at night when it's easier to see in the darkness.
Here I am thinking, Wisp's walking around with a Beyonce gauntlet.
Yes.
I mean,
think it's
yes,
something
but of
like-
darkness.
Right. But I mean, Onyx still has a shine, okay? What was I gonna say? Oh, and then Danvers, yeah, Danvers, like, you know, may not even remark upon it because I mean, like, maybe again, it's like it's trick of the light for her, you know, it's like it's not something that, like, you know, she sees very clearly. But like at nighttime, I'm gonna say that probably Peace notices. Peace will notice. Would Vivi notice? My question is.
Is Vivi a creature of darkness? Yes.
Yeah.
Or a monster.
Vivi- Or a monster.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Fair.
Would Vivi notice it? Almost certainly, because Wisp has it.
Would it be something recognized as something that resembles what Zero had on his hand?
That's the question. I don't know that Vivi would make that connection,
Not yet.
because Vivi was certainly preoccupied
Well, yes.
last
Yes.
time. Yeah.
True. Oh, yeah. Vivi was extremely preoccupied, so may not have noticed in the aftermath, but I'm going to say that if any of you want to make that point of notice for when y'all together, I do not mind, I will say. And I think, you're Danish or, whatever. It'll be explained to among the agents as well as the pilot that they're going to have to, do some security checkpoints, as they approach, because the island is protected by spell tech and the void shields. Yeah. Spell tech is created, it's holy people from all over the world who take shifts to chant unique prayers created for the Halimaw. I'm immediately thinking of the twins that are singing. It's great. Engineers keep an eye on the void shields that protect the island to keep it unknown and, non-existent to mere mortals and stuff. Yeah. I think as you're making your way through the mists of the later checkpoints, and you are, I guess you guys would be in a holding pattern as they're making sure that all of the clearances are met. I think you notice that the jungle of Island Zero is pretty much teeming with life. It's very alien. It's got like a bunch of foliage, but you see creatures like as tall, if not slightly taller than this gigantic foliage, making their way through, running across some of the cleared areas and all that. So, yeah, it's pretty active, all right. When you finally get the full clearance, your boat is allowed to land in a special clearing. There are eyes that will peek through the foliage as you land, and as you come off, you see that there is a dark tunnel, smaller than these monsters that are roaming the island, but bigger than human. And you are allowed to go down that tunnel to the underground facility, and the boat will immediately leave. And you are met by Commander Fletcher Payne, who is essentially a former Halimaw pilot, as well as, I guess, the commander of this station, okay, of Mysterious. I have 2 questions. Let's see. So Fletcher Payne's massive physique is covered in mech plating that resembles what you will end up seeing the pilots will wear during a skirmish. His dark skin is heavily scarred, and he has an eye patch that has a protective rune stitched onto it. I think, you know what, I'm going to wait until you meet most of the people here before I ask these establishing questions. Yeah. Alrighty. So, just to go over some stuff here, in the Character Keeper, I do have like a POI, Persons of Interest tab for this particular mystery. So it has a list of some of the teenagers who are the pilots for the Halimaw, as well as some of the other personnel that are located here in Mysterious. as well as places of interest on the island. And there is a custom move here. It's called Hello, Little Monster. When you attempt to connect psychically to a Halimaw, say what vulnerable memory you offer to them, spend darkness tokens, and then roll. So, 8 to 10, of course, your memories become one with the Halimaw's consciousness, and then you would choose 2 of the options given to you. 11 plus, the Halimaw sees something in you that terrifies them. You would choose between the 2 choices listed there. And of course, 7 minus, you are about to connect to the Halimaw and see tantalizing visions, but then sirens go off and the entire facility goes into lockdown. The keeper will tell you what happens next. So, that's a fun little move if you ever want to try and do something about it. Okay? But yes, I mean, like, besides Commander Payne, there's also the teenagers that you will see here, the pilots that are currently piloting some of the Halimaw that are used to protect the rift from releasing some of these monsters into the greater environment. And then there's also some scientists and directors here. So I think when you all come into the base, into the underground base, you will be greeted by 1, 2, 3. Looks like 4. Yeah. 4 pilots, all teenagers. They're really young looking for humans, but, they are of the age that they have some ability to be able to control some of these monsters that they are psychically connected with. And they are here too. The Halimaw of different names and different forms, they are also here in this particular facility. I'm going to say that when you enter in that tunnel, it looks like a big hangar bay, but underground. And Fletcher Payne will bring you in. He's incapable of smiling, just so you know. He just has a steady gaze that stares at you from behind the one eye patch. We are very grateful for your assistance, don't get me wrong. I mean, if you see some of our security teams seem a bit skittish, well, a missing pilot is not something to take lightly, if you can imagine, as well as her Halimaw. So
maybe she just got sick of it and left.
that's the thing. She couldn't.
Oh?
Well,
Zero will just cast a sidelong look at Vivi.
she is one. Okay, so Luna Nakahara, she's the one of the youngest teens to have been recruited as a pilot. She took well to the training. She bonded almost immediately with her Halimaw, Hydra Omicron. And Hydra was one of the most unique looking that we had. Their skin was covered all in eyes, and a dozen wings of gold and amber covering their back. She was able to channel a special weapon, like a sword, with her Halimaw. They were preparing for the launch sequence. They were on comms. They were going to just, get ready to go out on patrol. And then, before the scanners lost her, and the Halimaw signature, she said, "The apocalypse comes. Together we will remake this broken world."
Vivi had been about to ask a question, and then here's that final line, and just kind of like puts their hand down because now it's very clearly something else.
I can let you listen to the recording. And he will go to the nearest console, and he clicks it on for you, and that's pretty much what you hear. I mean, you hear her patter. It's like, the usual checks. Hydra Omicron ready to go. Luna Nakahara reporting. Levels are fine. Power grid up. And then you hear like some sort of weird energy crackle. And then her voice sounds the same, but yet very different, as if two people are talking on the recording. And she says what she says. The apocalypse comes. Together, we will remake this broken world. And then you see somehow that, and this is a like a video recording in her cockpit, and you can see that she's staring into the camera when she says this, as if she has no connection with anything. Not human, not like animated, nothing. I mean, it's just like she's kind of empty. But the video flickers and you see what look like moth wings. Like an energy signature shaped like moth wings. And then when the video comes back, it's dark. And it just shows the launch pad where they would normally be. But it's completely empty. They're not there.
I am given to understand that humans do not normally simply disappear. That is still the case with these Halimaws, yes?
Yes. Yes. I mean, together their powers were, again, that special sword that they would create between the two of them, Luna and Hydra. And Hydra's powers were all about sound waves and light storms. I mean, you would hear like sonic booms and just like kind of screeches that would chill you to the bone. But nothing like this. It's affecting everyone else. For sure. I mean, you are welcome to talk to the youngsters. See if any of them know what happened to her. They talked with me up to a point, but maybe you all can have better luck there.
So she just disappeared completely. No
Correct.
trace?
You're welcome to go look out in the launch pad. And he makes an indication on the console and kind of like shows you like a tiny map of the base. And so where you are is the underground like hangar for getting everybody ready. But the launch pad itself is probably like two areas away. You're welcome to go look and then see if you see anything that we didn't spot. But yeah, everyone checked out the area as far as we know. I mean, she just plumb disappeared.
Is there any way off the island, except for the way we came and the rift?
You don't want to be going out that way, miss. No. There's the prayers on the Halimaw by our spell tech team. And there's also the security checks out as well as in. It would be a tough call for them to completely disappear without going through all of those things. So, no, we'd have no idea what happened.
Unless, and Vivi hesitates. and looks around at everyone and then catches themselves. Well, my people sometimes, when we wished for something not to be found, we would not leave an area. We would simply move sideways to it. It is possible. And is there like a prop nearby, a clipboard or a?
Yeah. I mean, like, you know, there's definitely like stuff to write on or to scribble on. There's probably even a whiteboard.
Yeah, Vivi walks over to like an important looking whiteboard
Yeah.
and just sort of pushes it sideways from reality, and so it disappears.
How,
like that.
How did you do that?
Well, it's still right there. You simply. My point is.
He comes up and tries
person... Yes, it's a wonderful parlor trick. This person may still be here if these checks are so thorough.
You say they move sideways?
It's difficult to explain.
Dr. Zamora's here. Dr. Zamora. And then, like, you know, he's kind of gesturing to someone behind you all. There's a woman who has slicked back hair, dark skin. She's doesn't look like a regular lab or medical doctor. She's got a beat up leather jacket, and she's got what looks like glowing eyes. It's like, doctor, these folks here, they have a theory about how she might have gone. Oh, really? And pray tell, how is that working out?
He just blinks at the weird kind of like passive aggression and reappears the whiteboard in front of the doctor.
How did you do that?
There are more dimensions than humans typically. It's not relevant. The point is, we must look both without and within the base.
You need to talk to our head scientist. They'll be very interested to see if they can figure out how you did that, and then try and make sure that that's not where they went. Then her face softens a little bit and just says, it's like, I am worried about Luna and Hydra. They were the heart of the team. I'm a little tense because they had the tendency to take risks. And if somebody took advantage of that, I need to know, and I need to make them pay. So.
Should I roll ashes to ashes for this?
Which is that?
Declare how the wisdom of your people may help in a situation.
Okay. Carry the hope.
I mean, you did do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you have to? Sorry. Did we go beyond, like, you know?
I'm not sure.
I'm
just checking in. See if you think that would work.
Yeah. Go ahead and read it off. I'm trying to find it on your sheet, and I can't find it.
It's right at the top of the first playbook move.
Okay.
You are the last of your kind. There will never be another. When you declare how the wisdom of your people may help in a situation, spend darkness tokens and roll.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. Because I'm feeling super risky, and I kind of want to see what happens. I'm not going to spend any darkness tokens.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Shit.
Or never mind.
Say what?
Oops.
The ashes of your people demand fire and retribution. The keeper will tell you what happens next. And you got a what now?
A 4.
Holy crap-a-doodle-doo. You're gonna need to either spend 4 bonds.
Whiteboard starts eating people. Let's go.
Oh my god. So the wisdom of your people may help in a situation. Hmm.
I will say that if you would like to get a success mat, I do have a move where if you spend a bond with me, it counts, or it can count as +3 instead of +1. So you would
Whoa.
have to spend fewer than you would otherwise. But if you want to keep the failure, ignore me. I'm just putting it out there.
Hey, what are the bonds for if not to spend them, right?
Exactly.
All right.
And you
So
can always build them up later too. So
that's
that's not a big
true.
deal.
So let's spend one bond with Wisp there. I guess I need to spend another bond from someone else.
Wait, but that gets you to, oh, right.
The 7.
Completely forgot about the thing with this game.
And I think I have a bond here. Interesting. This is adjacent to the Wisp one. It's the bond I have from What the Darkness Demands.
Okay.
So I think I will spend that one as well. And that sort of has to do with Wisp as well, in terms of like dealing with the pain of losing that relationship. So this is Vivi kind of weirdly showing off because Wisp kind of rejected them a little bit, and like, look, I can do things. I'm helpful. Love
Oh,
me.
I'm going to make a request if you don't mind. So, in spending the bond with Wisp, I would love to hear the memory of like you doing this during one of those moments that you were with her and how
Sure.
was important in your relationship.
I think in a previous timeline, perhaps Wisp was angry and taking it out on something, punching bag, the little stereo to play the meditation music, something. And rather than let Wisp destroy it and get in trouble, Vivi shoved it sideways out of Wisp's reach and then brought it back. And it was the kind of thing where maybe it was angry for a while, but after 2 or 3 versions of it, it kind of became funny. Where you start out, yeah, annoyed, and by the time you're done, you're both laughing. And
Damn, that's beautiful. Okay. All right, so you're up to 8 to 10. So, what does this move do? If it's 8 to 10. Okay, so on an 8 to 10, your wisdom shines brightly in the dark. Choose 2 of those things. So,
all right, I would like to choose recall ancient knowledge, ask the keeper any question, and they will answer it honestly and with great detail.
okay.
What I would like to know
Mm-hmm.
is the pilot that disappeared.
Uh-huh.
Was this a surprise to them? Was it planned, this disappearance, or were they suddenly struck by something outside of their sphere of control? Like, is this the culmination of a plot or a tragedy? Yes. That will sort of indicate what kind of things we should be looking for.
Mm. I'm going to give you a key for that because I don't want to have it conclusively answer the question. Regardless of great detail. I'll make the key detailed. How about that? Let me see.
And
So okay,
sorry,
go ahead.
while you're picking a clue,
Yeah.
also I can recognize the signs of portents hanging over your other fellow monsters. Everyone can gain a darkness token.
Oh wow. That's amazing. Cool. I'd be curious to see, like, or to hear how Vivi can seize these portents. What do they look like over each one of them?
I think when moving things sideways from space, sometimes reality gets a little bit out of focus, and you can just see for a little fraction of other timelines or things that might happen with other people. And I'm not sure what the portents for each other player should be. I'd be interested in hearing what symbols people think they would be showing right now.
That's a good
All right,
prompt.
what are the parameters here?
Just a small suggestion of a omen, not in the omen class monster thing, but in the like prophecy. A symbol that might appear near each one of us, indicating a potential future.
If you're saying potential futures, then maybe for Wisp, as reality shifts, you see a sort of distorted mirror image where she is just like entirely drenched in blood.
Ooh.
I think you see Zero, but he's in negative. Like his right hand is white, but everything else is onyx, and his hair is stark white.
I think for Petri, you just see like Petri for a split second has a much younger face.
If any of you look at Vivi during that moment, perhaps, or if you had a mirror, they might see a small version of the sword that the Halimaw summons, but it is broken.
Ooh. How specific. Overachieving again.
Okay, so wisdom of the people. Okay, all right. I think. Oh man, this is gonna be fun. As you all see this, as you all see each other in those particular forms that split second, which isn't actually very short. It feels like it's a forever second. I think you see on the recording, it's almost like as if the recording has rewound, even though it's not that kind of recording, and you see a flash of, like, instead of them disappearing, like you see this monster in their place, and it is a great creature that it fills the entire space of that bay of the launch pad, and it is, hold on, let me see if I can grab a description real quick. Yeah. All you see is like slithering dark, and possibly like a yellow orange eye that seems to open up, and then this maw of the same color open up, and then the scream that is so loud it breaks through the recording and creates this red and white and green slash in the video, which essentially is something echoing the interdimensional rift outside somewhere on Island 0. And you all hear this scream in your very being. Maybe not bones, but your being. And that's what you see as your first key. So, the undying remains of the very first monster that created the interdimensional rift and their growing power. I can type that in as you guys decide what you want to do next.
I think Zero is going to turn back to the was it General Payne?
Commander.
Commander Payne. And he'll say, "Can we look anywhere?"
Yes, yes. The excuse me. The spell tech, of course, will protect the Halimaw. And the
Zero's going to just entirely interrupt him, walk up to the man, and just like smack him in the forehead with his palm, and he's going to try and read his mind.
oh my god, that's so funny. Is this your powers of darkness that you're using right now?
I'm using "You Can't Hide Your Heart from Me,"
Ooh.
and I'm going to spend two darkness tokens. Yes, 2.
Okay. Sensitive thoughts. Okay. Deepen your senses. Go ahead.
Oh, I actually need to put dice in that, not just the tokens, huh?
Yes.
Well, that's a 5. That's not much better.
Wow.
On a 7 minus, the darkness within me takes hold and will break the mind and heart of who I was connecting to.
Holy fudge.
Awesome.
I tell you what price you must pay to save them from the worst of your power if you want me to. God.
I think I'll burn some bonds.
Okay.
I'm going to burn the one with myself that I should have mentioned last session I took,
Okay.
and 2 with Petri.
Okay.
Because
I'm not your real dad.
because Zero is intent on making sure he's remembered,
Okay.
even if he has to break a mind to do it.
Oh my gosh.
But that does bring me up to 8. So
Okay. Yeah. Alrighty. 8 to 10. You sense more under the surface. Ask 2 of those things in your list.
I would like to know what Commander Payne is hiding and what. Ooh. I don't. How many keys do we have? We only have the 1 key. I feel like it's too early to try and set up
A connection.
lines. Yeah, so I'll
Well,
say,
I mean, it's like I'm going to answer, to be honest, I'm going to answer your what are you hiding with a key. So you will then have 2 keys, and then you can decide if you want to use that very last thing, if you want to draw a line between, like, you want to make the definitive, here is the key and here is the facet it belongs to. And that
Right.
is the irrevocable truth, about the mystery. Or you would declare one, like, once you make that connection. So it's up to you. Yeah. I mean, but either way, you're going to get at least 1 key.
yeah, I think it's a little. I feel like it's a little early to be making those kind of bold statements. So
Okay.
I'll go with what are you hiding and what are you truly afraid of?
He is afraid, or I should say, I'm not truly afraid of. Okay. I'm going to answer what are you truly afraid with a key. So he is afraid that. Oh, there's so many good clues here. This is terrible. Oh my gosh. Okay. Ooh. He's afraid that you're going to find failed attempts. You get this as a flash of memory. Failed attempts at fusing humans and rift monsters into something powerful but uncontrollable. That is the key. And I think Actually, I think that's what he's hiding. Never mind. But anyway, that answers that question. What is he truly afraid of? He's afraid, and he's not sure of it, but he's afraid that somehow Luna and Hydra's disappearance is tied in with that somehow.
As Zero takes that all in, he's going to slowly draw his hand back from the man's forehead and kind of peer at.
Yeah, I think it was so quick that the director, sorry, still getting used to the names, that the director Zamora, Dr. Zamora, like didn't have even a chance to stop you. It's like, hey, what are you doing?
Looking. What are you doing?
Vivi will spring into action and just like, unless Zero stops them, just like throw an arm around Zero and propel them away from two of them, looking over their shoulder and be like, I'm so sorry, he's very young.
I didn't even check behind his eye patch. I'm not finished.
Over to the
I think
side.
it's as you draw him away, I think Dr. Zamora goes over to Commander Payne and just kind of like steadies him a bit, but then she looks back at the two of you and her eyes are glowing. Like she has no goggles on or anything. Like the tech behind her eyes is literally glowing. What is everybody else doing?
I think so we're in like a hangar bay, you said, right?
Yes.
So I presume there are like lots of other people here.
Yes. Like some people like, either readying some of the Halimaw that are here. I don't think. Yeah, there's maybe like a pilot that is here, but they're on the way on the other side of this hangar bay.
Okay.
So you don't quite see them, but like the creatures are here, and they're all beautiful in their own weird way.
Yeah, I think Wisp has sort of wandered off, although she's wandering with purpose. I think she's maybe like circling one of the Halimaw that's here. And she's trying to make it look like she's, studying it and like figuring stuff out. But she's actually right now trying to open up a link with her psychic invoker.
Ooh.
Because that's what she's supposed to do when she gets here.
Mm.
Those are the rules that they told her.
Okay. So. Yes.
Well, I think I have to roll for it.
Okay.
If I'm reading the move correctly.
Let's see. Psychic invoker.
Yeah, the move is about like how well or how safely she's able to make the connection.
Okay.
So I think like once she's kind of tucked out of sight of the other omens, she'll sort of close her eyes and say like it's sort of like an activation sequence, like a random string of, or seemingly random string of words that she repeats in almost this meditative state. And I will spend 3 darkness tokens.
Okay.
Oof. Okay. I rolled a 15.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what? Hubba. Okay. On 11 plus, you and your psychic invoker fail to sync safely, and a harbinger within you forces the psychic invoker to become a temporary channel. Choose a number of questions equal to your scale of vulnerability. Keeper reveals what the harbinger you may become shows you. In addition, gain 1 bond with what the darkness demands. So you picked picked scale of 3, so you would pick 3 of those things.
Oh, I'm silly. Scale doesn't actually use my darkness tokens, so.
So yeah, you would pick 3 of those things.
Yeah. I will pick.
These are great. I'm so sorry.
We're rolling
Wow.
real well tonight.
Yeah, this is. Oh
Yeah,
my
I
God.
was not expecting to roll double sixes.
Jesus. That's still like a 12, so it's like, you're
I mean, yeah,
dang.
it's real unfortunate that wasn't darkness tokens, because you could have just cashed them all out right there.
Jesus.
Yeah, I'm gonna be torn between after this. Oh god, the questions. I'm sorry, they're all really good.
They are. I mean, like, I couldn't make a choice myself. I'd be just like, what?
I will choose what will happen if the Harbinger unlocks the door and claims ascension. What will happen if I take the door of ancient power for myself, which uncovers a key and lets me draw a line between that key and a facet on the mystery map, declaring an irrevocable truth about the mystery.
Mhm.
And then how can the psychic invoker help me become a harbinger?
Oh boy.
So the bottom 3 questions, essentially.
Okay, great. Not great, but I mean great enough. Okay, great. What harbinger you may become shows you. This is an interesting question because it's like, if like your harbinger that you become shows you, like what you as the harbinger become shows you. But then it says, what will happen if the harbinger unlocks the door and claims ascension? But the ancient door of ancient power for yourself. So yeah, I can definitely see where torn between happens after this particular move. So if your harbinger unlocks the door and claims ascension, you will be triumphant and be of, if I remember correctly, it's like, you will be of flame and blood, burning blood.
Oh, so my interpretation of that question is that it's the harbinger that we're looking for, that we're
Okay,
going to be dealing with on
that
the
was sort of
island,
mine
right?
too, but I mean,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
that one thing about, like, what the harbinger you may become shows you would kind of throw me off. So, all right, well, anyway, so if it's the harbinger I've been introducing, what will happen if the harbinger unlocks the door and claims ascension? Very simply that, the aurora borealis. Yeah, those colors are gonna form like moth wings and stuff all over the skies. And yeah, especially here with the interdimensional rift, it's like all these creatures will be released upon the world and definitely cause the apocalypse. And from the remains, then they will be released upon other worlds, other rifts, which will echo across time and space. Fun. And how can the psychic invoker help you become a harbinger? I think, like, if the vision is that you are locking your scale of vulnerability to try and create that connection, but let's just say it's intense here on Island Zero, which is why he's now opened up to you as a temporary channel. Yes, I think his particular power of trying to keep you calm would be keeping you calm and allowing your harbinger to take control and becoming its best self because it doesn't have you to tamp it down. Your fury is what is keeping it in check. And so with the psychic invoker keeping you tamped down, Harbinger has all the time and place to play. And what will happen if you take the door of ancient power for yourself? Well, let's see. A key. Okay. I'm going to give you this key, and I'd be interested to see what you make of it.
Mm-hmm.
If you take the door of ancient power for yourself, since you appreciate inciting revolution. I think you're going to see the humans, as you saw them on Nangal, as extensions of people that need to take power for themselves. And you will see that there is a deadly weapon that only a human can wield. It can kill any Halimaw instantly, but it's ineffective against the Rift monsters.
So if I take the Door of Ancient Power for myself, will I be able to also wield that
free.
weapon despite not being human?
You see it as taking power in such a way that you're doing it through someone else. So, how's the word? You are learning delegation? I don't know exactly how to put it, but basically it's like, you are aware of this weapon that only the humans can wield, and perhaps you are trying to free them, in this case, from their Halimaw connections.
I see. I could use the weapon's power to bring freedom to these teens who may or may not want to be here doing this.
Correct. Yes. And I'm going to throw that into the Mysteries of Key. Then you'd have to figure out, okay, once I put it in there, then you'd have to figure out, you would determine where it goes, and that's where it stays. And then you would declare an irrevocable truth about it, about the mystery.
Yeah, I need a minute to think about that.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Absolutely. Petri, what are you doing while I try to plug this stuff in?
I'm truly... Where are these teens at?
Only one of them is seen, but again, you are on the other side of this hangar bay, and you don't quite see them fully yet. You just know that they are helping tend to their particular Halimaw. I will give you the what's the word? I will give you the description of the Halimaw, and then maybe you will gravitate towards one of them, and I'll tell you who's their handler, their pilot. Okay. So, all right. So the Halimaw that are here, one of them is very moth-like. Their bioluminescent wings slowly changing patterns every few seconds. There is also one who looks like some kind of raw, elegant amalgam of ice and fire. There's also another one that looks like much bigger and taller than the other Rift monsters, and it looks just... It looks like it's vibrating because it's got such strength and speed to it. It's like it can't quite stay still in its place. It's ponderous, but it's also fast. And then there is another one that looks like a large black cat with tentacles and teeth that are dripping something that looks very caustic. So
this is all too cool. Both me, Chris, the player, and Petri are just completely overwhelmed with how awesome everything about this is. And Zero is acting up. We get to be in a fun one, finally. Yeah, I truly, I sincerely have no idea. I don't think Petri's doing anything. I'm sorry.
Well, I think Agent Danvers is kind of like, looking at you and then kind of coming up by your shoulder then, and it's like, Petri, are you okay? I mean, you were changing before, but now you're... What's wrong?
Oh, he's still in multi-eyed. He's still fitting the description of the missing Halimaw, complete with sword, for the record.
Right, but you didn't change. You didn't change after that, and she's concerned because normally you're like at least popping something or changing into something else, like
It's
throwing out a
always
pseudopod
subtly
or something.
shifting.
Yeah, but you're like literally stock still for more than a minute, so she's like
Well, it helps that
concerned.
I'm covered in eyes, so I don't have to turn my head to look in awe. You know?
Yes.
Although eyes just open a little bit wider.
Oh,
Oh my
yeah. Oh no,
gosh.
a few of them are crying.
And that's why she's asking you, what's wrong? Is there anything you
No,
anything-
it's so much can go wrong. Beautiful. It's like the sea in here.
She says under her breath, whether you're paying attention or not, she says, just like the old beach. And we're gonna take a 10-minute break, because my gosh.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Yeah, so back
That's
at the
fine.
17 mark. Okay. See you in 10.
And,
All right, we're back, and we're going to look over the connection between the key that Wisp received and one of the facets, and then the actual note for the irrevocable truth. That's okay. I have problems with the word spelled ESCHEW. Can never pronounce it right.
Askew?
Is that how it is? I don't know.
Issue.
No.
I think it's a shoe.
No,
It's
it is a shoe.
askew.
Askew is with a K.
Askew. But anyway,
And eschaton, which I think you said wrong earlier.
what is it?
Eschatology is the study of the end of the world. Or specifically, revelatory apocalyptic texts.
It's in the description for mysterious.
Mechanized Youth Squad of Tactical Eschatological Research, Investigation, and Operations. A branch of United Security. All right. I'm sorry.
I love the branch of United Security. Like it's a little tagline at the end because you have to.
Well, you need the U.S. I mean,
Yeah,
of course.
you need the US.
Right. For mysterious. Yes. So Wisp, if you can just just tell us for the recording, like the facet you're tying the key to, as well as the irrevocable truth.
Sure. So this deadly weapon that only a human can wield is a hint toward the Harbinger's identity. I am establishing that the Harbinger needs the disappeared pilot, Luna, to wield the deadly sword on its behalf.
Mm-mm.
The darkness
That's-
demands that Vivi steal that sword
Oh my God.
or
Okay.
a Mac.
Okay. Do you want to do the whole? Because I think you said that you would be torn between at this point, or do you want me to go to Zero and Vivi first?
Sure, I think my turn between is going to be pretty brief. I think that Wisp sees this vision and feels this like surge of revolutionary fervor, the same kind that she felt in Manila. But I think she looks over, or no, I think she looks down at her hand where she's wearing the gauntlet that Zero gave her, which has now sort of become a symbol for her of the violence that all of us could unleash on these places and these people that need our help without any effort at all, really. And she feels like she has to resist her darker impulses, if only to be a good example for Zero.
Sure.
So I'm going to spend a bond with Zero.
Okay. And that's how you regain control. Is just looking at the gauntlet. So I'm gonna say because of this, it's like I think this actually ticks quite nicely into the clock. Because before we head over to Zero and Vivi, I think there is a panning of the camera outside of the facility to a very dead area of Island Zero, which it's barren, it's a wasteland, nothing grows here, everything else is verdant and lush, but here it is blasted. It is blasted heathen ground that seems to have jutting bones and maybe rubble here. But I think in comes what looks like a woman with very curly hair, like she's plump and round, and she's wearing a lab coat, and she's just like coming through and then taking samples, wearing her goggles, making assessments. And in this monstrous graveyard, as she mutters to herself, something roils up behind her in the ground. It's like a little bit of a shifting of the soil. Then it's something that looks like it's digging through. And then as it pokes up through the dirt, it looks like a bone topped with a talon. And the doomsday clock has moved forward 1. 0. Vivi. Or I should say, Vivi, where do you take 0?
Just finding the sort of the direction that is directly away from Fletcher and from Natasha, just like not towards anything in particular, just away from them before turning to Zero and kind of saying, not like whispering, but just like quite like, have you completely taken leave of your senses?
No, of course not. Get off me.
If you will let Zero shrug their arm or off of them. If you walk up or appear behind people and use powers, sometimes they stab you. You don't want to be stabbed.
I was entirely in front of him and I asked. Also, when did you start caring?
I brought you a Danish. I was told you
brought
like Danishes.
everyone a Danish.
Well, I brought them for you. I didn't know how many to get. I don't know how many things people eat. I did not realize that was enough for everyone. You're complicated. Humans are complicated.
Why did you bring me a Danish?
Well, I was in the cafeteria and a human helped me understand that it's a thing that you do for coworkers.
Oh.
To show that you respect and value them. And that sometimes you went to the cafeteria and had these pastries.
Do you?
Yes?
No, do you respect and value me?
Well, not when you get us in trouble. But I sometimes forget what it's like to be young. And you remind me of that sometimes. And I appreciate that. I would be sad if you went away.
I think Zero kind of shifts and looks down at his feet and anywhere but at Vivi, like he does not know what to do with this.
I'll roll.
I
Open
think as
your
you're
heart.
doing that. Oh, okay, go ahead.
If I can reveal
Curious
your
to see
heart.
what you
There we
get.
go. Yeah. How much do I have? I will spend 3. And get an 8.
Okay. On an 8 to 10, your heart reaches theirs. Choose one. And if they are PC and they choose to deepen the connection further, they can choose one too.
I will clear a condition.
Okay.
I will clear despairing.
Okay. Zero, do you want to try and deepen this connection?
Yeah, I think so. I will. I think I will also clear the condition defensive.
Nice. Okay, cool.
I think after a moment, Sarah's just going to say, I'm not going to get stabbed. But thanks, I guess.
You know, they can surprise you. I was surprised.
By getting stabbed?
Yes, it's unpleasant.
Okay.
Do not recommend it. Especially not for... Vivi will go to, like, touch Zero's shoulder again. Like, bodies.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
You should probably describe a bit. I don't think the humans understood that you meant you were going to look inside them. That's not a thing for humans normally. So he seemed very surprised.
Fine. Whatever.
Out of the way. There is someone in a wheelchair that squeaks up, saying that, and all you see at first is a very aggressive shade of red as very curly hair comes into view and a pale-faced teen using the wheelchair, like rolls in and kind of gestures with one hand. Get out of the way!
Is there room around us or not?
There is.
Like, are we actually in the way, or is this just a
I mean, like, you know,
teenager?
there's room, there's room around you, but I mean, like, you know, she seems hell bent on getting over to the hangar bay. I'm gonna say that you guys are like probably in the hallway, like leading away from them, like perhaps like leading into like one of the other areas, like towards quarters. And she's rolling out, and she's like just trying to push through you.
Zero's going to pointedly look at the excess room in the hall and look back at her and say, no.
I don't know what Commander has told you, but I need to keep training.
Don't let us stop you then.
Fine, whatever. I mean, Garnet, Cyclone, and I are gonna go out and look for Luna, regardless of distractions. I need to be at my best. Ugh.
Zero's going to turn to Vivi and say, who chooses these names?
Vivi will turn to the the person in the wheelchair and say, "Why did you name your giant weapon Garnet Cyclone?"
We don't name them. They let us know what their names are.
Vivi turns back to Zero and says, "They name themselves."
They chose Garnet Cyclone.
Vivi turns back to the wheelchair person. "Why did they choose the name Garnet Cyclone?"
I don't know. I mean, it's just something that comes unbidden in our minds. Like once we psychically link. Don't you guys know anything?
Garnet Cyclone sounds,
Stupid.
I was going to say,
Don't.
potentially painful, but
She
visually interesting.
she'll actually smirk and laugh a little bit and say, "It's like, don't let Garnet hear you say that."
You're a pilot?
Yes, I am.
Which one?
She's continuing to move her wheelchair, but she just kind of does the whole head lean, and it's like, for you guys to follow her back to the hangar bay. It's like, I pilot Garnet Cyclone. My name's Malika. I've been here as a pilot longer than any of these kids, even though she's not that much older than they are.
So, as the... Oh, wait, no. Vivi wouldn't have the insight to say that. Never mind.
Zero's going to look at her and say, "And how old are you?"
16, if you have to know. Goodness.
That's old?
Yeah, if you know about how these things go. I mean, I'm getting there. They think I only have one more year with Garnet before I lose the connection, and Garnet's gonna have to get someone else, someone younger. So, but regardless, I mean, we've worked together for quite some time, and we're gonna be the best to find Luna. I mean, that's all there is to it. I was in the simulation room training, and just, yeah.
Do you like Luna?
Yeah. She's the best. She was the best of us. I don't know where she
Going to lean in close, looking in her eyes, and say, "I'm going to touch your forehead."
Why?
He touches her forehead. And I'm going to use, "You can't hide your heart from me."
Well, it's technically better.
And I'm spending 3 darkness tokens.
Okay.
An 11.
On an 11, their minds bleed into yours. Choose one above.
Oh,
And they will
good.
choose one to ask you as well.
Let's multiply the teenagers together.
The keeper tells you how their heart is corrupted by your power. Gain 1 bond with them. Okay. So, which one will you choose? And I'll let you know which one she's going to ask you.
What is she hiding?
She's hiding a lot of things, actually. Worry because Garnet can actually psychically connect to anybody, really, but just prefers to be with Malika, but she's not sure why. And she's also fighting or trying to acknowledge, or maybe not trying to acknowledge, not sure yet, her feelings for Luna. Why she's so worried and why she cares so much. And Garnet Cyclone's also sort of bleeding into their connection because, you know, she's feeling depressed, but then so's Garnet. So there's a lot of confusion and doubt and worry there. And I think that in this connection, like as you're seeing these thoughts, like and hearing these thoughts like echo in your mind from hers, I think she's also like looking into you, your self, Zero, as well as your negative self, and then she's saying, who do you love above all else?
That was the one I didn't have an easy answer for. I think insofar as Zero can even understand the simile, I think he does love Cobb like an older brother. But I don't think he would even admit it to himself.
And I think she's hearing your answer, or she's seeing your answer, she's feeling your answer, and her heart is, again, your minds are bleeding into each other's, maybe some memory, maybe some visions, and her heart is in this negative space that you are and have created. Her heart is wrapped up in that way as well. And you see it as, yes, her heart has been wrapped up in some kind of darkness, and it melts into this vision of her feelings, and it pulses with black veins. And you gain 1 bond with Malika Connor.
I think Zero's going to kind of blink furiously as he steps back and goes, I didn't mean to let you see that.
I don't think you could help it. You feel just as I do. Confused. And she rolls into the hangar bay.
He just turns to Zero, confused.
Shut up. And he's gonna walk away.
Sorry. Wisp. I think, yeah. So you are in this particular corner having your vision and torn between and such, and I think this is where peace will come up to you and say, hey, do you want to go over to the launching pad and then see if we can spot anything? Maybe, I don't know.
Why don't you go and report back with Lydia,
Okay.
Agent Danvers?
Right. Yeah. And he just kind of hitches his one of his tack bags, and then just kind of like looks over his shoulder back at you, and then goes off to approach Agent Danvers, who is still by your side, Petri, by the way, just kind of like looking at you as you're looking at everything else with all of your eyes and such.
Girl, get a hobby. You're at work. Oh, I'm muted. Oh, I'm not. Good. You heard that.
Time's funky wonky, okay? So, I mean, like, you know, she might not have been looking like the whole time, but I mean, like, you know. And then she sees Agent Peace coming over and it's like, launching pad? And he says yes. And then so they go and check out.
I know what's happening now. Petra will burst from this sort of like mockery of the missing, this form that he has taken like a cocoon, just as his normal, like, no, not his normal self, as a little worm guy. Why not? No arms, no legs, just a little Petri face, little worm body.
Okay.
Where are we going?
We're going to go to the launching pad. You think there's something over there, don't you? And
Something. Oh,
yeah, she was looking at Agent Peace, and he's like, yeah, maybe one of our instruments will be able to spot something that Mysterious hasn't. And you coming, Petri?
sure. What are we looking for exactly?
That video showed that they disappeared. Maybe something left behind. Even if it's been a few days ago, we can figure out something to calibrate. I mean, the last position, something. Although I would give a lot to know how Vivi did that trick with moving the board aside.
They've tried to explain it to me once. It is neither simple nor complicated.
Could you do it?
No.
Well, maybe, yeah. Let's just take a look, and then, like, Petri, if you spot anything with your, well, if you want to grow extra eyes and see if you spot anything else, I mean, like, just let us know. We're gonna have to use instruments on this one. And you get to the...
Okay, let's use knowledge of the collective.
Oh dear. Okay.
I do not have a move for this. Another thing for my giant note pile.
You can use power through darkness.
I
if you want.
guess.
To push the limits of your supernatural powers.
Yeah, I am definitely not unleashing the dark. I guess I am powering through darkness.
Mm-hmm. Or grasp keys. I mean, like, you could...
Yeah, let's grasp keys.
Yeah.
Because it's essentially what this is that I'm presupposing that there are present moments across the, like, there are possible presents where we have found something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Lots of different things, presumably.
Okay.
But if I think about it real hard, all of this could be information.
Okay.
Let's grasp some keys. I have 8 darkness tokens.
Oh, please roll some of them, please.
What's the minimum? What do I have to add to this?
You
to
have
not
to have. You have to have.
overcome?
Yeah, you'd have to use 3 to get down to 5. Shouldn't be more than that, I think.
Let's use 4.
Okay.
No, 6. Fuck it.
Oh, I think the maximum you can use on a roll is 3.
Then I'll use 3.
Okay. Yeah.
That's 12 on the dice. I rolled a 15.
Jesus Christmas. Okay. On an 11 plus, you uncover a key. Yay! But there's a significant complication, cost, or fallout. The keeper will tell you what it is. Fun, fun, fun.
I mean, if these things can step sideways, who's to say one isn't coming for me?
Mm-hmm. Let's see. All right. So let me give you a key, and then I'll tell you how fun this gets. You are searching on the launch pad. How are you using your powers or investigating?
I'm investigating by using my powers.
Specifically,
Specifically, I'm looking at different like alternate universes and where we presumably found something.
cool. All right, great. Ah, all right. I think in your dimension shifting. Give me a second. All right. The key you have found is, as you're dimensional shifting, you are seeing the bleed of power from the rifts. Multiple. I didn't just say one. Multiple rifts harnessed, and the corruption that bleeds from it. And how this affects significantly is that you get a vision from this power. You see a vision of a throne made from the bones of these rift monsters, as if you are seeing something being built or has been built in the monstrous graveyard. And the volcano rumbles. This is a paint the scene here. What instruments and tech now go haywire on Island Zero as the doomsday clock shifts forward again?
Can one of the Halimaws smash its limb into the walkway where we're on?
Yep.
If we're just going mecha, let's go for a
Yeah.
classic.
Okay.
There's like a psychic invoker array, right? There's like people praying about this.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
One or all of their like I don't know what they're praying over. If they are praying over anything, it has now caught fire.
Oh my god. Okay.
If not, I guess, one of them just bursts into flame.
Anything else?
All of the alarms in the place, like from bedside alarms in bedrooms and the large klaxons begin to go off, but they're going off really slowly.
Ooh.
A little shift in time and space, maybe? Wisp, anything?
No, I don't have anything.
All right. So, yeah, I mean, I think Vivi and Zero get knocked aside as the one walkway crumbles. Because I'm going to say, who's the ice and fire one? Yeah, I think Aurora Coyote goes a little bit nuts, and just because of all the alarms and everything, I think they just start to burst and throw bursts. So maybe there's like a burst of ice here and like a little tiny fireball there, but it's big enough to cause some damage, including the walkway that you two are on. And then I think anybody else here in this part of the facility have to duck or dodge. I think Commander Payne and Dr. Zamora are like just kind of ducking away behind like one of the counters here. And Wisp, what are you doing?
So this is a Halimaw, right? Like not a rift monster.
Correct. I mean, the reaction is that like in the monstrous graveyard there's a throne being risen, and like all of the instruments are going nuts. and one of the Halimaw is very agitated by it, and so therefore that's where a little havoc is created.
Yeah. Give me a second. I'm just looking
Yeah.
at the custom move. Oh, maybe that won't help. Yeah, I think if the Halimaw looks like it's going to be a continuing problem, um, Wisp is going to try to beat it into submission because she doesn't really do like soothing and calming.
Oh, you didn't want to try a little monster?
I did, but I don't think it necessarily is helpful for this situation.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Sorry. So if the situation is like the Halimaw is getting increasingly agitated, then Wisp is gonna leap into action against it, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, like, again, the alarms are just going off, and it's just like it just went a little, uh, a little skewy. So again, it's like kind of shooting off like ice crystals or like fireballs, and just kind of like, you know, letting them fly, and then like of course creating havoc to the walkway underneath Zero and Vivi.
Yeah. So I think Wisp will grab one of her little crystalline spirit bombs from her bandolier, and she will summon another creature from her world uh, to subdue the Halimaw.
Okay.
Everything's going great.
It's going wonderfully.
So good. So cool.
This is borrowed power.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like the people who are trained to deal with these things aren't doing anything. So,
Who knows?
um,
Maybe this is normal.
if you leave the problem solving to Wisp, she's always going to try to solve it with violence. I'll spend 3.
Okay.
An 8.
Total?
Yep.
Okay. 8. The summoning wards hold, and you have the upper hand for now. Choose one of those things.
The summoned creature is fire and rage, violence, and storm. They will destroy a vulnerable target before the summoning unravels.
Oh no. Oh no.
So I'm thinking that this summoned creature is literally fire, right? If this Halimaw is throwing off ice, then Wisp grabs one of the spirit bombs. It's like kind of, we see this sort of purplish flame roiling inside of it. And when the crystals sort of burst, she like tosses it, like throws it into the fray. We see this it's almost like a phoenix sort of rising, that's just like totally like engulfed in violet flame, and it has like a sort of skeletal head with this long like needle like beak. And yeah, I think it manages to kind of pin the Halimaw down, and the Halimaw almost like melts underneath the all-consuming fire of this like fey abomination.
Yeah, I think. Let me see. And that was. That was Aurora, and that was associated with Catalina. All right. Yeah, I think as you're doing this, and the Halimaw looks like it's going to melt away completely. I think you hear a scream, but it's not but it's not necessarily just in your ears. I think you see an individual with white hair that reaches past their waist. And they're screaming at you, but then you also see them screaming at you in your head as their Halimaw drifts away. And then... here we go. Okay. So I think they scream, they fall to their knees. They're making these signals with their hands as if they're doing like sign language, but then they're also kind of like blasting these psychic visuals at you of pain and despair. But then as the Halimaw melts away underneath your creature's ministrations, I think as soon as it melts away and your creature disappears, you'll start seeing that icy puddle steam, but then like it starts to roil and coalesce and bubble and then start to form the Halimaw again as it regenerates. And Catalina, their pilot, will just kind of help with the regeneration by just kind of like bringing their hands in and trying to get the puddle to come together more. But all they can do is just kind of hold the Halimaw as it reforms. And you see some frenzied sign language at you, and they are just looking at you with wide eyes in your visual field, in your mind, and saying, "Why did you do that?"
Why didn't you do anything?
Just kind of holds on to the Halimaw as it's regenerating and just kind of starts to cry silently, and then just kind of shakes their head and buries it into the forming creature. No hurt. No hurt. And then looks up at you in your mind's eye and says, "Luna, Hydra, soon find?"
Maybe. We'll try. But we need your help, not just you, but everyone here, to keep these things in line while we try to do our job.
They nod again, still crying silently, and you'll see the flash of them speaking in your head as they say, "Sorry, we'll try," as they nod. And wait for Aurora Coyote to reform. We are hitting 10:10 right now, so I want to leave the last few minutes for end of session stuff as well as for some stars and wishes. So let's get to doing that. Okay. Hopefully you all picked an impulse when we started. So let me start from the other side first this time. The Herald, Petri.
I didn't do anything this session.
Let's see. Did you express your monstrous nature and or express your humanity?
I mean, no more than usual.
You turned into a little worm guy.
Yeah.
Again, a thing that he just normally does.
Yes,
If
but
we're,
that
we're
is
giving points for that,
It's an
then I'll
expression of
take
monstrous.
the point.
I was gonna say. Did you learn something significant about yourself and or your impending ruin?
No.
Okay. Did you learn something significant about a fellow monster?
No.
Did you uncover at least one key of the apocalypse or attempt to unlock Doom's door? If
Did
no,
I?
I thought you
I
did.
did, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Even on 11 plus, I still get the key, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Think
then
so.
I did do that.
Yeah, so then you don't have to worry about ruin. And then what impulse did you try and do today?
Did you did this same as every week? Did you attempt to find meaning in your relationship with another? And the answer is no.
Okay. Alrighty. The last. Okay, Vivi. Did you express your monstrous nature and or express your humanity?
I mean, whiteboard magic tricks aren't exactly monstrous per se.
But the Danish?
Maybe. And I think trying to express humanity in the like getting Zero to be better at humaning.
Humaning. Yes. I would take that. Did you learn something significant about yourself and or your impending ruin?
No.
Okay. Did you learn something significant about a fellow monster?
Zero's just confused and lashing out.
Take it if you think it works. Did you uncover at least one key of the apocalypse or attempt to unlock Doom's door?
Yes.
Okay. Then no ruin to worry about. What was your impulse for today?
Did you allow yourself to find hope in the arms of our monster? No.
Okay. Sorry.
It'll
All
happen
right.
eventually.
Yeah. The Found. All right. Zero. Did you express your monstrous nature and or express your humanity?
I think not intentionally, he expressed quite a bit of humanity of the pubescent sort.
Yes. Oh my God. Oh man. Did you learn something significant about yourself and or your impending ruin?
I don't think about himself, no.
Okay. Did you learn something significant about a fellow monster?
Yes, I think learning that Vivi actually seems to think Vivi cares about Zero, maybe.
Yeah. Did you uncover at least one key of the apocalypse or attempt to unlock Doom's door?
Yes.
Okay. Then don't worry about ruin. And what was your impulse for today?
Did I open my mind or heart to another monster? I'm not sure whether the interaction with Vivi counts.
Well, I mean, you revealed your heart, or was
That's
it?
true, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, like, you
Okay.
know, you did choose to deepen the condition. So,
Your stunted teenage heart.
oh my gosh. And Wisp, the summoned. Did you express your monstrous nature and or express your humanity?
Yeah, I think so. Her humanity probably more so, being kind of salty with peace.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Did you learn something significant about yourself and or your impending ruin? Hell yeah. Oh my god.
Indeed, I did.
Yes, you did. Did you learn something significant about a fellow monster?
I don't think so.
Yeah, not this episode, I don't think. Did you uncover at least one key of the apocalypse? Yes. So no ruin marked. What was your impulse for today?
My impulse was, did you try to hold on to your humanity to great consequence? I feel like her negative reaction to this being assigned the psychic invoker is in a way a sort of way of clinging to humanity and like autonomy and trust and love and all those things that she's been trying to learn. I'm not sure about the great consequence yet. I think driving a wedge between her and peace is ultimately bad for her. I'm not sure if we've seen the magnitude of how bad that might be yet, though. So
Yeah.
that's a long way of saying no.
Okay. Okay. No, it's fine. Okay. Um, yeah. So, all right. So we have finished with end of session for right now. Um, Still quite a bit to do. I forgot to mention this is a complexity 8 mystery. So What are we looking at so far? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 uncovered keys, but one but there's 5 because you've already matched one key with a harbinger, so that's solidly in there. Okay, at least 3 more to go, or yeah, 3 more to go, and then you can go further if you'd like, but yeah, have so much more clock ticking to do. Okay, stars, wishes, things you really liked about this session, and then things you'd like to see for next time or the future. So this way I know where to mess with you.
I'll go first.
Okay.
Stars to Ben and Elle for really leading into like being monsters this session and causing problems. I'm so glad this is recorded so you can see my face when Zero just fully stop, like grabbing the biggest guy in the room, prison in the yard, prison rules style, was such a choice, and I love it so much. And the same with just like cutting down one of these mechs that we know nothing about. Brilliant, beautiful, show stopping. And Vivi, you were doing a great job being weird and like trying to play by the rules. I love that conversation between you and oh wait, I do have notes. It was on a different page. Yeah, the mind meld. And oh, I love the cafeteria lady. I love the cafeteria lady so much, Mads. She is getting through the workday any way she can.
The omens are a lot of fun.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
And wishes. I don't know. I want to fuck with this. I think maybe Petri could close the rift, just full stop.
Unless Zero beats him to it
Certainly
first.
Vivi could do that.
Zero's 2 for 2 on closing rifts.
Yeah.
He has
That's
a reputation.
that's Doom's
now.
Door. That's different.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, you're
right,
gonna close the rift. Oh my.
Yeah.
Mm.
Don't you just want to stick your head in it first?
I already have. That's the beautiful thing about Petri is I can do both.
Oh my gosh. So I'm gonna assume that's a wish.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I can go. Ben, to echo Chris there, Ben just going and being like, oh, the commander, I'll just read his mind. But you actually said, I smack him in the forehead, which was beautiful. Like, it wasn't just like gently reading your mind. It was it was very
Palm strike to the forehead.
Yep. And then also I really enjoyed when Vivi said confused, he just shut up, and teenager walked away. Like, yep. Fantastic. Excellent. Chris, I liked it was just a little phrase, but so much can go wrong. It's beautiful was just like a great encapsulation. I don't know. That just was like it resonated with me in a great way for your character, and I was really pleased with that. I will second as well with Elle. Oh, this weird thing that we need, this monster that's helping keep the world safe, is doing something. Let's hit it. Let's just hit it. Let's kill it. Let's summon a monster. Like, when all you have is a sword, everything is a thing to be slain or monster. Anyway, yeah, that was good, and I enjoy watching Wisp take the hard way out of every situation. Mads, I really like two things specifically. I liked Warren Beast saying, I don't know how to talk pretty, which was this wonderful self-fulfilling little line. And also the excellent voices from the NPCs were so good this round. it was very evocative, and I quite enjoyed that. Wishes. Oh, there is a part of Vivi that wants to steal a mech so badly because, well, like that would be a really useful tool for their particular end of the world plan.
Oh.
So, that temptation is very strong. How can Vivi steal one? And like just as a backup plan, they're never going to use it. It would never come up.
Petri will remember this. For the record, stated goal of myself and my character is save all these teens.
Oh my gosh.
It's just when your plan to end the world involves doing stuff in space, having a giant mech suit seems useful.
Yeah, sure. I can go along with that. Whatever. I definitely won't use it for something else.
Monstrous mechs, yep.
All right, that's my wish. Also, to see more Zero just teenagering all over the place.
Oh my gosh,
It's
angst.
so fun.
So much angsty.
Actually, a secondary star between Mads and Ben for the just the two teenagers, the pilot and Zero, just being exactly kind of teenagery at each other. It was good. It was awkward to watch in a very fun way.
Oh gosh.
All right, sorry, I'm done.
I can go. I really love Chris Petri as just a little worm guy. Not so much. I mean, I love that visual too, but also the way you just drop that. Just a little worm guy. It was perfect delivery, perfect visual. Really says so much about Petri and their relationship to themselves. And I enjoyed that very much. Matt, I really liked Vivi trying to step up and protect Zero from Zero's own Zero-ness. And also just the way that your warning was not, this could get you in trouble. This could have some unforeseen effects. It's no, you could get stabbed. Like a very specific something happened to Vivi somewhere along the line, and I really enjoyed the specificity of that. Elle, I made a note immediately upon, as Chris put it, Wisp's perfect clapback of pretty empty words, and just that whole scene between you and Mads was so good. I really like War and Peace, and Mads, your NPC work is always good, but I want to know so much about everybody that you played this round, but also, good job playing the Sarky teenager, and I look forward to Zero being amongst his people.
Love it. Oh my gosh. That's funny.
As a wish, I'm looking forward to seeing more of this organization and the people, and Zero is absolutely going to be very pissed he was not recruited for this.
I mean, we'll see.
He's like 3 years old. He'd last for a long time.
Canonically, what, 5?
Yeah, something like that. Like, they get a lot of mileage out of him.
Yeah, right? Oh my gosh. Yeah, there's like just so much more to explore. I can't wait for you guys to figure out where the hell you want to go in this place. Just take a look at the locations under the POI stuff, POI tab, and then just like let me know like where you want to go for next time. Because again, there's so many more places to look for keys as well as to just get in trouble. So, and then you still have to meet like everybody else and figure out like how things are tied together in terms of the facets, and then come up with a theory, of course, as we always do, while the doomsday clock clicks up. So, I mean, I agree with all of the stars and such, and Wow. I mean, Zero being really angsty, Vivi still trying to be human, which I find very interesting, even after all the despairing words from last time. But like very fun for me to see how those two things are going to develop, and then Petri just being like the weird little guy. I would love to know. I mean, this is going into wishes as well, but I mean, I would love to know how he says there's a set fate for Agent Danvers, but I'm just curious to find out how Petrichor feels about her, if anything, eventually. And Wisp, yeah, I mean, like, when you have a hammer, everything looks like a nail. So I just love that just through line of her character. However, I mean, like that conversation between her and Peace, he's an awkward man to begin with, but I mean, like, he's still trying to figure out stuff himself. Um, and yeah, I'm still trying to figure him out, but I find him interesting to play as well. I mean, like, all of the NPCs are great to play, and I'm just excited to try to keep up and also deepen the relationships, even though the Omens themselves are very resistant to it. I'm just interested to see how you guys respond, and it's great. I've been loving all the reactions so far. So, yeah, keep more of the same, and then see if anything, any more reveals happen during this particular mystery or what have you. Yeah, I have. There's a lot. There's quite a few moving pieces on this particular game, and it's hard because even more things for me to try to track and then try to call back to, because you guys know I'd love to do that. So, yeah, that's me.
Yeah, I can do mine. Looking through my notes. What am I going to do with all this clam chowder from early in the session from Vivi? It was fantastic. Um, I hope Vivi doesn't have like clam chowder just like sitting out in their quarters. Like
It's in a bread bowl at least.
Oh, okay, good.
It'll be fine.
That might be even worse actually. But it was great. And then the whole conversation with Vivi and Zero, it's like, when did you start caring? I brought you a Danish. So good. And I really enjoyed, like everyone else has said, I really enjoyed Petulant Zero. And I'm looking forward to seeing more. I also really liked all the moments of Petri weirdness that we got, including the worm guy thing, but also kind of absorbing the Danish, and transforming during the briefing to sort of illustrate what Commander Fletcher was describing to us, was really cool and evocative and interesting. And yeah, I agree. All the NPC voices are really great. I'm very bad at doing teenage voices myself, or like children, so I'm always in awe of people who can. I sounded like I was 40 even when I was a teenager, so I don't think I have it in me. For wishes, I haven't had a scene with Petri in a while. I would like to do that. Eventually, I would like to have Wisp reconcile with Peace, although I think for now it makes sense for her to kind of be irrationally perhaps angry with them. And there was something in the like introduction to the mystery that piqued my interest. It was something about how the teens are selected by psionics who like investigate their dreams.
Yes. So hold on, let me just like read that bit about, because like there's a lot of deep stuff like in this, and it's kind of hard to try and convey all that, and then also remember to like push more of that forward when we're knee deep in the mystery. But specifically, it says, yeah. Every few years, new recruits, new youths who must take on the burden. Only teenagers are capable of connecting with the Halimaw and piloting them. No physical indicators, nothing in DNA, no social background that determines their capabilities. Mysterious employs skilled psionics to walk through dreams and find teens that can emotionally connect to the Halimaw.
Yeah, I
Could
think
be
that's
interesting.
super interesting. And I would love to see what Zero does with that.
I know! I can't wait!
So I hope that comes up in more depth later. But yeah, those are my stars and wishes.
Awesome. All right. So we have more to look at, look around, talk to, all that kind of stuff for next time. Should be, next week as usual. And yeah, you guys have a wonderful week. Happy gaming for anything you're doing before then. And I will see you next time. All right.
Happy
See you
Halloween.
guys. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Bye.